Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Nation. Now today, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 5 Dragon Ball Z characters. Well, my top 5 favorite at least. Obviously yours will differ, and I'm going to try to keep this video under the 15-minute mark, because if you haven't seen my most recent upload, and I'll leave a link to it in the description if you haven't seen it, I received a copyright strike, so I can't upload videos over 15 minutes for a while, so I'm going to try to keep this one under that limit. It shouldn't be hard, that's why it's top 5. And many of you probably didn't see my comment on that video, but there was supposed to be a versus match that was uploaded today, but I'm delaying it because it was exceeding the 15-minute mark, and I was going to split it up into 2 parts, but when I was going to do that, it didn't seem like it was right. It was really disjointed, so I'm going to delay it, and it's really for the better. It's really better for the quality of the video if I just delay it and not have to split it in 2 parts. So I hope you guys understand, but you know, without further ado, let's get right into this top 5. Coming in at number 5, we have Future Trunks. Now, I want to state first, I was not originally a big fan of Future Trunks when I was younger, and it was mostly because my brother liked him, to be quite honest. And you know, we were all young and stupid at one point, and then I realized he was a total badass when I was older, defeating Frieza, being the person to kill Frieza and not Goku. Unless you want to count Future Trunks' timeline, and of course Goku did defeat him, but that being said, he took out Frieza like nothing, and he's got a really rich backstory in his whole, you know, future timeline, and his whole future's messed up and all that. We all know that, future Gohan, all that stuff. But he's got a really good backstory. He's a badass, and he's really calm and collective when he speaks to people. But he's got a little bit of he's really reserved in the way he speaks to people as well. But he's also very confident. He doesn't take after his father's pride, you know, Vegeta's pride and all that stuff. He's similar to Gohan in a way, but much more stern and very, I wouldn't say aggressive, but he is definitely a fighter, where Gohan is not. But that's my number 5, guys. Coming in at number 4, I've picked Gohan. More specifically, the adolescent and adult forms of Gohan, and I did in fact like Teen Gohan as well, and it's going to surprise people that I, you know, favor the adult version, but the reason is because he's much more a calm character, similar to how he was as a child, but still, you know, more mature obviously, and he goes to school and all that, and we get to see a different side of Dragon Ball, a gentler side of Dragon Ball, and we also get to see all the Saiyaman stuff. Obviously I can't not talk about that. But I did find that stuff very hilarious, and it kind of made sense because it was a long time of peace. So he wasn't training, you know, he was you know, he wasn't as on guard, I guess, to any imminent threats, because it was, you know, a 7-year period of peace from the Cell Games and the Buu Saga. And if you want to watch a really great video discussing Gohan and the Buu Saga, go watch Black and Fist's video about it. Now I will leave a link to that in the description. It really is a good video, and it'll make you think. If you didn't like, you know, if you didn't like Gohan and the Buu Saga, it's definitely a good video to check out. But anyways, yeah, Gohan was great in the Buu Saga. I always loved all the scenes with him and Videl, and most of the scenes where he was in high school. It really brought more character development, I thought, and he did become a badass, I guess you could say, once again when he got his Elder Kai, you know, ability, the potential unlock on the Supreme Kai planet. And then he went and whooped the crap out of, you know, Super Buu. So yeah. Coming in at number 3, I've chosen Cell. More specifically, Perfect Cell, which I would assume is most people's favorite form of Cell as well. But I just found that Cell is such a great villain. Now I know Frieza is as well, but I didn't really want to put 2 villains on here. And there were so many characters that I wanted on this list, but I had to condense it down to a top 5. And maybe in the future I can do a, you know, the other half, the runner, I guess I could call it the runners-up video, you know, the other 5 that I didn't pick. I may do that in the future, but yes, Cell was a very, very great villain. My personal favorite villain of all of, you know, Dragon Ball in general. But the thing that was great about Cell is he had so many different personalities of all these other characters in the series, like Frieza, like Vegeta, like Goku, all the great fighters he had the DNA from. And I really think they all compiled, and they would clash, the personalities and traits would clash in each other. They clash in such fantastic ways that would really make him unique compared to other villains in this series. And yes, he was unique because he was the first one to have that immense regeneration properties, and he also acquired a Zenkai boost such as the one Saiyans get as well when he blew himself up. And there's just a lot of depth to his character, especially with the other two forms. He had the imperfect and the semi-perfect. Each form he had a completely different personality, so I do like his character as a whole. But if I had to pick a specific one, it's definitely going to be Perfect Cell because he was just so cocky. Semi-Perfect Cell was much more cocky in my opinion, but we didn't see too much of him. But in his perfect form, I just love the way Cell would taunt the Z Fighters, and the voice acting from Damian Clark was phenomenal on him. But in recent years, they've gotten someone different to do him in the games. I believe in Kai, it's still him, but he doesn't do as good of a performance, I believe. But the older stuff in DBZ and some of the earlier Budokai games, he did a phenomenal job of voice acting. Coming in at number 2, we're getting really close to number 1, obviously, is Vegeta. Now, Vegeta used to be my favorite character from a time. I would flip-flop between him and my number 1 pick, which you'll see obviously shortly. I would usually flip-flop between them, but Vegeta is such a great character. He's arguably the most well-developed character in the entire series, and he's just got so many different ranges of emotions and characteristics. You know, he started off evil, and then he slowly became less evil. I wouldn't say good. He wasn't necessarily good until, I would argue, until the end of the Buu Saga. But during the Frieza Saga, we started to see a little bit of his, I wouldn't say good side, but maybe his merciful side, because he would save the other Z Fighters on occasion. But later in the Cell Saga, we did see him lighten up a little bit, but he was still very aggressive towards the other people. But I think Bulma opened his heart a bit, and then in the Buu Saga, we obviously saw him become very, very, not gentle, but much of a nicer person. But then we had him, you know, taken over by Babidi. Not taken over, but you know, he let himself be controlled to gain, you know, the evil, to open the evil in his heart, because he wanted that, or so he says. But we saw him flip-flop from being a bad guy, slowly turning good, to being bad again, and then he sacrificed himself against Majin Buu, which utterly, unfortunately, failed for him. But that was a very emotional scene that I'm sure got a lot of people. But after that, we did see he was accepting of Goku being more powerful than him, you know, and better than him in terms of raw power and everything like that. He just says, you know, Kakarot, you're better than me and all that. And he just kind of broke down in that Kid Buu fight, and that's really is something we don't see out of a lot of characters in this series, and he really is just one of the most well-developed characters in my opinion. And coming in at number 1, some of you may have seen this coming, and I know it's a really popular opinion, but I have my reasons for picking him. It is Goku. And Goku is my favorite character because there's just so much about him that I absolutely love. I love how much he eats, you know, just adores food, and that's kind of an anime standard at this point, but I think Goku was one of the original characters to pioneer this, you know, whole idea of eating. Obviously Naruto went on, did their thing with it, and Fairy Tail, I believe. I don't watch a lot of the newer animes, but yes, a lot of them do mimic this in a way, and I think it's become a real trend in the anime world. But there's so much about Goku that I love, and there's really not much that I don't like. I love how cocky he is, but he's really subtle about how cocky he is. He's always looking for a challenge and looking for someone stronger than him, and just his energy is fantastic. And obviously Sean Schemmel's voice acting for Goku, the performance, I think, is the greatest performance for Goku there is. I don't think that any other voice actor or actress can even match his performance. It's my personal opinion, but I grew up with the Funimation dub. Now, I've loved Goku ever since Dragon Ball, the original, you know, the original Dragon Ball series, and up until, you know, what we have now. We're continuing the story, of course, and his growth as a character is just incredible. And I mean, obviously he has been in the series the very longest out of anyone, because he was the first character we pretty much saw. But he just has such good character development, not as good as Vegeta's, because of Vegeta's multiple, you know, traits and all that, and how they clash with each other, being bad and good. But Goku's always been a good guy, and I love that he has dynamics to him, but he is like kind of a one-trick pony in a way. Like, you know what he would do in a situation. He's kind of predictable, but I think that really adds a charm to him, in my opinion, because you can guess what he's going to do next. You know how Goku thinks, and that's why I pick him as my number 1. So guys, that has been my video for today. I know it may have seemed a little bit rushed. Maybe I wasn't as descriptive as I could have been, but like I said, I wanted to keep it under the 15-minute mark, and I think I've successfully done so. But later in the future, I will, more than likely when I get this whole copyright strike thing, I will make another video going more in depth with each character. You can count on that. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. We still gotta get all this copyright stuff figured out so I can upload more than 15 minutes of footage on one video. But I hope your favorite character was on here, at least one of them. I know a lot of you may not like Goku my favorite, but I really do enjoy his character. And I guess that's basically it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit the like button. If you're new around here, definitely subscribe for future content, although I'll be honest with you, it will be a little bit shorter content than I'm used to because of the whole copyright strike thing. But if you are interested, subscribe. But that's basically been it, guys. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. Considering I can't do those really long videos now, I've decided to bring back my versus battles. I had them a long time ago, and I just kind of dropped them off. I didn't even mention them. I would usually put two characters together and have them fight and then commentate on it. But I think what I'm going to do is a little bit different. There'll be shorter videos, obviously. But I'm going to do a new series about who is stronger. And I'm just going to pick two characters from the DBZ universe, have them fight, and they're going to be similar in power, respectively. But I'll, describe who I think is stronger, and I'll give reasons to why. But they'll probably be 7 or less minutes long. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get one up this week. But that's been it, guys, and I'll catch you later.